Hi, Mark here. It's Monday, August the 18th, going on 10 a.m. Eastern. That's going on 2 p.m. GMT. US session well underway. And let's have a look how the US dollar is performing at the start of the US session. Strong US dollar. It's been strong since the trading day through Asia, through Europe, European session, and the US session. Strong US dollar to start the new week. I've got support at 97.67. I've got resistance at 97.94. Let's zoom in on the hourly. And there you can see hanging around that resistance area for now, but certainly a strong US dollar demand for US dollar to start the week. If there is going to be any kind of a turnaround from a strong dollar to weak dollar during the US session, I believe it would be off these levels that sellers would look down at the 97.67 support. But for now, certainly it is strong US dollar. Let's have a look at the majors, see how they're performing. Euro US for starters. And there you see the strong US dollar against the euro. Red candlestick selling euro, buying US dollars. Resistance 117.10, support 116.65. On the hourly chart, there you see the strong sell-off, selling euro, buying US down to that support. Hang around the support area for now. If there is going to be a turnaround from strong US dollar to weak US dollar, the bounce would come off this area, which would be buying euro, selling US, and buyers of euro, sellers of US would be looking up at the 117.10 resistance area. Let's have a look at the pound against the US. Again, red candlestick, selling pound, buying US dollar strength. I've got resistance at 135.65. I've got support at 135.30. Zooming in on the hourly, there you see the sell-off, selling pound, buying US dollar. That's US dollar strength against the pound. Sellers of pound, buyers of US, looking at the 135.30 support. If there is going to be a turnaround and from US dollar strength to US dollar weakness, here would be buying pound, selling US. Buyers would be looking up at the 135.65 resistance area. US dollar against the yen. And again, US dollar strength. I've got support at 147.08. I've got resistance at 147.91. Buying US dollar, selling yen. On the hourly, there you see the strong uptrend. Resistance 147.91. Buyers will be looking to test, break above that level, looking up at 148 yen. A turnaround from dollar strength to dollar weakness would see a bounce down off this resistance area, and sellers of US would be looking down at the 147 yen area. Let's have a look at the US against the Canadian. Different pattern here, different start. As you can see, well, this wick was a solid red candle, so that would be selling US dollar and buying Canadian, not US dollar strength to start all the way down to the 137.82. But you can see this wick that's left behind, that is US dollar strength, buying the US dollar from the initial sell-off, and now sitting back where it started at just above the $1.38 level. Let me zoom in on the hourly. And there you can see from an initial sell-off in the US dollar, different to the other three majors where it's been strong US dollar from the start, from the get-go. Here we saw weak US dollar to start, but in the last 2 hours, US dollar fighting back as we see US dollar strength, just like we see against the other three majors, and buyers looking up at the 138.16 resistance area. So certainly US dollar strength to start. We'll see if that can be maintained during the US session, or if there's going to be a turnaround from dollar strength to dollar weakness. We have resistance and support levels to work with. Good trading, and I will see you at the end of the day.